не надо, то себе только думаешь. Да нет, ну нет. Да, нет. Это на самом деле. Наоборот. Больной держать, да. Вот это есть. Вот это есть. Не твори. Так. Сейчас меня будут вырезать. Хотел посмотреть. Чак Норрис говорит, чуваку, да, эй, привет. Чуваку жалко, короче, показывается.
Thanks for checking out GuitarTricks.com recently. We're running a special right now that's really cool. This is the best time to join Guitar Tricks. For a short time, when you sign up, you'll get an awesome discount on an annual subscription when you use code ONLY99. It's one of the best deals we ever offer on membership, but you gotta be quick. Click the blue button on this ad to see if...
Welcome to a late show. I'm Stephen Colbert. I take slight exception to the way we announce Cher tonight. John Oliver, Cher. No, it's John Oliver, Cher. Did Cher do something to our announcer? Cher. Cher! Hi, Cher. Cher. I'm so excited about Cher. John Oliver's nice. Folks, we are 23-ish minutes away from November 3rd. The day we've all been hope-dreading while laugh-screaming at our doom scrolling. Tomorrow night, we will be live on Showtime at 11 p.m. for our election night special. If you don't have Showtime, just sign up for the free trial. It's free, and who doesn't love a trial? I'd like to throw a free one for Trump next year at The Hague. Sir, just think of the ratings. Now, a lot of Americans are nervous right now, and I get that. This is the most high-stakes election of my lifetime, and I include when Ruben Studdard beat Clay Aiken. There were riots. Stores had to be boarded up with wood over their windows and everything. That's how you board up things, right? With wood. Circuit City, Blockbuster, never recovered. But personally, I'm oddly calm. I'm oddly calm. I'm approaching tomorrow with the languid placidity of the blue whale. My heart beats but 8 times a minute. I'm the most relaxed I've been for months because at 11:38, the night before the election, what you gonna do? I think we can officially say we have given Donald and just build from there. You see, I think everyone has made up their mind. Back in 27 numbers, that's flatter than the Black Rock Desert. You could set a land speed record on 44%. So to quote Jim Lovell from Apollo 13, Isaac Newton is in the driver's seat now. We are in the grip of the gravitational forces of democracy, which are pulling us toward the results. It's like our country is a deep space object falling toward a black hole. Either we're going to get sucked over the event horizon into a well of corruption that not even votes can escape from. Or we'll use this gravity well to slingshot and pick up speed and go off in an entirely new direction. Maybe that planet where Baby Yoda lives. He's cute. This is a test of the strength of American voters, but also of the institutions we have built. This president has exposed that not even votes can escape from. Or we'll use this gravity well to slingshot and pick up speed and go off in an entirely new direction. Maybe that planet where Baby Yoda lives. He's cute. This is a test of the strength of American voters, but also of the institutions we have built. This president has exposed a lot of weaknesses in our government, but it just needs to hold together for one last run. Our democracy is like the Millennium Falcon. She ain't pretty, but remember when she passed the Voting Rights Act in 12 parsecs? Who could forget the immortal words of Lyndon Johnson when he signed it? Biden continues to lead the national polls by 8 to 10 points, depending on who you ask, but it's closer in the swing states. In fact, last night's 538's Nate Silver bluntly stated, "I'm here to remind you that Trump can still win." Thanks for the reminder, Nate. It's something that hadn't occurred to me while I stared unblinking at the ceiling for the past 4 years. But if Trump does end up losing, I'm sure he will be gracious when he pretends that he won, because according to Axios, Trump plans to declare premature victory. Premature is no surprise. Like he always says to his ladies, "I was first, I win sex." Now, Trump has issued a non-denial denial about premature victory declarations, but he said he doesn't want any of the mail-in ballots, which appear to be leaning heavily Democratic, to be counted after November 3rd. So he's just redefining premature as any time he's not winning.
I think it's a terrible thing when ballots can be collected after an election. I think it's a terrible thing when people or states are allowed to tabulate ballots for a long period of time after the election is over.
What he doesn't understand is that democracy's not done until all the votes are counted. You definitely don't want Trump cooking the Thanksgiving turkey. It's turkey sashimi. Keep chewing. The gobbling means it's fresh. And for all of his vague denials, he has admitted he's going to try to shut down the count.
We're going to go in the night of, as soon as that election's over, we're going in with our lawyers.
The people have spoken, and they better lawyer up because my attorney is...
Bonjour à tous, et bien moi avec cette vidéo je souhaitais vous avertir de la sortie aujourd'hui de la version audiobook de mon recueil Inspiration Piano. Il y a déjà 2 versions qui sont disponibles, soit la version livre imprimé, soit la version télé, totalement un complément dans le sens. Il y a donc 4 points théoriques, tout plein de... Non pas des extraits, mais plutôt des titres, des thèmes sur lesquels vous allez pouvoir appuyer ces explications pour mieux comprendre et pour mieux entendre tous ces modes, toutes ces gammes, etc. J'y aborde également les différents types d'accords à 3 sons, à 4 sons, où nous voyons également les renversements, les voicings, comment enchaîner les accords.
Каждый может поменять профессию, даже если сложно. Программист.
Hello, Georgia! Can everybody please give Temple a big round of applause? That's the kind of young people that are going to lead the way. Oh, I am excited. Thank you for arranging for good weather. It is good to be back. I've got one word for you, Atlanta. Tomorrow. Tomorrow, after 4 years of failure, you have the power to change America. Tomorrow you can put an end to the politics that tries to divide a nation just to win an election. That tries to stoke conspiracy theories and fear at a time when we need confidence and we need hope. Tomorrow is the most important election of our lifetimes. And you can deliver the change that we need. But you're going to have to vote. If you haven't dropped off your ballot yet, please do not wait any longer. If you voted already, help your friends and family find their polling places at iwillvote.com. Help them make a plan to vote tomorrow. Because this election is going to take every single one of us. And right here in Georgia, you've got an even bigger power to deliver the change that we need. You can be a state that sends Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to the White House. I got a chance to campaign with Joe over the weekend, and it felt like the old days. For 8 years, he was the last one in the room whenever I faced a big decision. He made me a better president, and he's got the character and the experience to make us a better country. And he and Kamala are going to be in the fight, not for themselves, but for every single one of us. But if they are going to deliver the change we need, getting this pandemic under control, restarting our economy, protecting our health care, protecting our planet, reforming our criminal justice system, giving every young person an equal chance, then they're also going to need a Senate that actually cares about those things. So Georgia, not only can you put Joe and Kamala over the top, but you can be the state that gives us all a better chance because you've also sent John Ossoff and Reverend Raphael Warnock to the United States Senate. You know, I didn't originally plan to come to Georgia. You know, you see all this gray hair I got? You know, it still looks good, you said? All right. I'll let Michelle know. But the reason I'm here, look, I thought after my last campaign in 2012, I thought, all right, you know, I'll campaign in 16, and then I'll just kind of go off and, you know, write my book and work on my golf game and spend a little more time with my wife. Things didn't work out the way we expected because we weren't focused. Each one of us didn't do everything we needed to do. And so in this election, when I got a call and said, look, Georgia could be the state. Georgia could be the place where we put this country back on track, and not just because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have a chance to win Georgia, but you've got the chance to flip 2 Senate seats. I said, well, I got to go. I got to come. I told Michelle, I'm sorry, baby. I got to go to Georgia. This is a big deal. You have 2 extraordinary candidates in John and the Reverend who deserve your vote. And let's face it, you've also got 2 senators who badly need to be replaced. Look, I served in the Senate. I remember when we used to get briefings in the Senate for threats, including the kinds of briefings that your 2 current senators got about COVID-19. They got briefed. You know, you go into this room and it's all top secret and you got to kind of close everything off and you can't take anything out of the briefing room because this is part of your responsibility as a public servant. And the point of these briefings is so that you can take quick action to protect the American people before it's too late. That's why the Senate gets these special briefings, to serve the interests of the people who have sent you to Washington, to serve their interests before your own. When I heard that your two senators here in Georgia, and understand what I'm about to say now is not a partisan statement. I'd be just as hard if I heard a Democrat was doing this. Your two senators publicly were telling you that the virus would be no big deal. But behind closed doors, they were making a bunch of moves in the stock market to try to make sure their portfolios were protected instead of making sure you were protected. Man, that's shady. That ain't right. They downplayed the pandemic in public, and in private, they're trying to see if they can profit from it, both of them. Not just one of them, both of them. They're like Batman and Robin gone bad. It's like the dynamic duo of doing wrong. I don't know what they were thinking, but Georgia, I promise you, Georgia was definitely not on their mind. It was not. And what's the result of betraying the public's trust? 230,000 Americans are dead. More than 100,000 small businesses have closed. Almost 200,000 jobs are gone in Georgia alone. If President Trump and your senators had been focused on COVID from the beginning instead of their portfolios or their TV ratings, cases wouldn't be reaching new record highs across the country just this week. 9 months into the pandemic, America just had the single worst week of new cases. Think about that. All the people who voluntarily quarantine, all the folks who've been working at home, all the mothers and fathers who've been looking after their children at home, trying to keep everybody safe. And after all that, we saw the worst week because we had people like your two senators who were not taking it seriously. We had a president who was pretending it was just like a bad flu. And now Trump's chief of staff finally admits what we've known all along. He was quoted just a few days ago. He said, "We're not going to control the pandemic." Well, yeah, we noticed. You definitely are not. But you know what? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris can get on top of this pandemic. And if we've got two new senators from Georgia, we can have a government that's making that happen. What's Trump's closing argument right now? Last night on his COVID spreader tour, he's going around spreading COVID. He's like a carrier because he cares more about having big crowds than he does about keeping people safe. He told his supporters, don't tell anybody, but he's going to fire Dr. Fauci after the election. Don't boo. Vote. We had signs up a couple days ago, it was Halloween, and said had a ghost on there that said, don't boo, vote. Come on. So just in case you were worried that Trump had been taking COVID too seriously, he's now he's stated publicly he's going to fire the one person in the administration, a carryover, was also the president when I was in there, helped me deal with Ebola and H1N1, was one of the people who was at the front lines of dealing with HIV/AIDS, one of the world's leading experts on infectious disease, one of the few people in this administration who's been taking this seriously all along. And what did he say? His second term plan is to fire that guy. I mean, they've already said they're not going to contain the pandemic. Now they want to fire the one person who could actually help them contain the pandemic. So Georgia, if you think they've done a bad job at managing COVID so far, basically what they're telling you now is you ain't seen nothing yet. Trump's saying he might, in this election, he's been saying he might declare victory before all the votes have been counted. Well, that's just what he did on this virus. And how'd that turn out? Listen, America deserves better than this. Georgia, you deserve better than this. You really do, and here's the good news. Tomorrow you can choose something better. Tomorrow you can send John Ossoff and Reverend Warnock to the United States Senate. And they can team up with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and get on top of this crisis. Yes, we can. Look. Let me just in case you're unfamiliar with the track record of the two outstanding candidates for Senate that you've heard from. John Ossoff's life has prepared him to serve as your senator. He learned about public service from my dear friend, one of my lifelong heroes, John Lewis. He's dedicated his career to fighting injustice. He knows we need a new Voting Rights Act that makes sure every Georgian is treated equally under the law, that makes sure every Georgian can exercise the right to vote that people like John Lewis bled for. John Ossoff runs a company that investigates crime and corruption around the world, which sounds like something we could use in Washington right now. That's like crypto.
Ну, правда, это и есть правда. Да нет, ну, оказалось, неужели я никуда не надо?
Tonight to Donald Trump and those corporate lobbyists that he's all put in his cabinet. It's like water on the wicked witch.